Hi, my name's Kim Cookson. I'm a community art teacher in St. John, New Brunswick, and I'm an artist. This video is to document, I think, a very important time for me because I was one of several artists that was selected to participate in an art exhibition for the 100th anniversary of the Imperial Theatre of St. John. My piece is called The Moments of Time, and I will be doing a shadow box based on the concept of the Egyptian Jute Box by Nick Bamcock. So this work will be depicting similar look and feel of what Mr. Bamcock has done with the Egyptian boxes, except it will be a collection of things to depict 4 acts. So in this collection of collage, I have opera glasses, I have a wooden Viewmaster, I have assortment of frames, I have some vintage hooks, I have an actual reel that movies used to be distributed by, and that was at the Capitol Theatre, which is Act 2. So anyway, this is going to be a documentary, a little documentary, is how this piece was put together. The next segment you'll see will be it all finished, and I'll explain each piece. Well, I've done all the production. We're now ready to assemble. Now, one of the things about collage and shadow boxing is that you got to have more than you need because it's an intuitive placement, subjective thing. There's no secret to it. It's your own personal gut. A couple of things though I want to mention to you. I don't know if any of you have watched birds and how they, especially starlings, how they go to and fro together. It's called murmuring, and scientists have no idea how this is done. Is there a head bird that murmurs and tells the rest of the birds in seconds? Well, I have to tell you that putting together this collage, this shadow box for the Imperial Theatre 100th anniversary has been tremendous human murmuring. I have it written down here because I just don't, some people have come together in a second to help me put this together and be a part of it. First of all, I want to thank Cookson Gallery and Framing. They supplied the non-glare glass. I want to thank my partner, Herb Duncan, who's the handyman who's done all this cutting and fixing and building the shadow box. Veronica's music. Veronica taught me something about batons. She's donated this baton, and she's also donated, let me reach here, lovely musical notes. Then I also have A1 Auctioneers. They gave me a reduced price on these vintage net hankies, and also I have some opera gloves. I want to thank All That Jazz. All That Jazz here in St. John donated these toe ballet slippers, ballet shoes. These are Russian made, and I didn't know this, that it's a proprietary rights how to make ballet slippers. It's not assembly line. They're one of a kind made. And once there's no left or right foot, by the way, once the ballerina puts them on, then it becomes her personal shoes and they mold. So there is no left or right. And plus I have this lovely ribbon. New Brunswick Museum. All my pictures came from the archives of New Brunswick Museum. And I want to thank Jennifer Logden, who's the archives research librarian. I also want to thank D. Stubbs Lee, the conservator, who gave me all the great types of glues and tricks to keep things in the shadow box without combustion, and put what chemicals put with what and what type of glues and what works and what doesn't. They were fabulous. I also want to thank Rob Roy, who produced the book about St. John. I will be using 2 photographs, page 50 and 51. And Albert's Draperies. Albert's Draperies, in my Donate to Create art program, donates fabric for my children to make quilts and color blocks. So I'll be using some of their swatches that they've donated. I also want to thank Bob and Judy Pritchard from their private collection. They have donated this wooden viewfinder. In the old days, back in the early 1900s, they'd put this here and they'd look through it. So thank you very much, Bob and Judy. I also want to thank Full Gospel Assembly for giving me such tremendous insight about how this came about, because without their goodwill and faith, they wouldn't have made, the capital campaign wouldn't have happened. There was a lot of great people that came together, but when they sold the Full Gospel Assembly property, which is now what we know Imperial Theatre, was the Capitol Theatre, before that. They paid $1 with the intention and faith and also some legal documents that they would receive their full amount with $999,999 for the property when the Imperial Theatre was renovated. So I want to thank Pastor Lindsey Burt and his wife Bonnie. He has donated his own personal Gideon's Blue Bible and a cross, and has given me numerous pictures of the Davis sisters who bought Capitol Theatre for $166,000 and then donated it to Full Gospel Assembly. So I want to thank them. I'm sure maybe there's others along the way, people that have told me about where to get great music sheets and little bits here and there, and that's the community of St. John. We murmur together to help this Moments of Time. So next time you see me, it will be fully assembled. Oh, I also want a little detail I forgot to mention. I also want to thank Cookson Gallery. They have given me some of the remnants of their frames for some of the gilded work. So get ready. The next time you'll see me, the Moments of Time will be completed for the 100th anniversary of the Imperial Theatre. Well, hi, here we are. We are one more step away before finishing the Moments of Time for the 100th anniversary of the Imperial Theatre in St. John, New Brunswick on September 19th, 2013. But before I put the glass and the frame on and you'll see a final shot, I want to explain to you my piece. As I mentioned before, a collage or a shadow box, it's a very subjective piece of work. So you're always collecting more than what you need. So what didn't make it into the piece is what's on the table. But believe me, I had it moved 150 times and then some. But sometimes less is more. And what I followed in my piece was the example of Nick Bamcock in the Egyptian Jute Boxes, the simplicity of some of the work. So I tried to keep the spatial relationship and the rhythm of the work similar to his, but also with my own personal personality to it. I want to walk you through what I've done. First, I had a shadow box built by my partner, Herb Duncan. Then I went around to the city of people who were involved with the Imperial or some way had touched the Imperial with either what they did or what they contributed or what they participate in that has been an ongoing performance or visual art at the Imperial Theatre. So we started off in 1913. This picture here comes from the New Brunswick Museum. This actually is a very light dollar store binoculars that I've made look like opera glasses because it's very too heavy for the piece. So I had to sort of make do. Then we move into, this is the actual reel from the, so this started, sorry, back up, this was 1913. Then we moved into Act 2, and I have this here, hang on, I have the Act 2. So this is Act 1, this is Act 2 of the Imperial Theatre. Now that Act 1 started in 1913. Bear with me because I do have it here. Act 2 was in 1929, the Capitol Theatre. This is an actual reel that what they put the 3/4-inch film on. Because when I consulted with D. Lee Stubbs at the New Brunswick Museum, the combustion, once it's sealed, the combustion of films with glues and so forth is not so good for film for that period. So this actually is a commercial I did because I was a former actor member and a model and actress. And this commercial actually is from Cardinal Watch's Time. So I thought that was an appropriate contribution of mine to this piece for Act 2. This is an actual commercial of Cardinal Watch's wristwatch for Time. So then we move into, that's Act 2, and that started in 1929, became a Capitol Theatre. Then we move into Act 3. Act 3 is in 1957, because movies had gone down and there was TV was, started, the Capitol Theatre was struggling. The company had 700 theaters, and so they decided to sell it. These ladies here, the Davis sisters, bought the Capitol Theatre for $166,000 in Act 3, and they donated it to the Full Gospel Assembly. So this is a picture of the Davis sisters. This is a Bible donated, as I mentioned, from Pastor Lindsey Burt, and his wife, and also from the youth pastor, the cross. This is a vintage handkerchief, what people would carry to the church in the 50s. That was very popular. And the background here, it's just a symbolism of the wallpaper, and also, Jesus and a little boy, because children are our future. So I thought that was really important, which also ties into what I have in Act 3. So in Act 4. So in Act 4, it's the grand finale. Well, things just changed. And Full Gospel Assembly wanted to sell the property, build a new facility. And so in 1994, between 1957 and 1994, the city patrons got together and they decided to create the grandeur of the Imperial Theatre, what was once again. So the grand salvation was in 1994, so it took about 12 or 13 years. The Full Gospel Assembly sold the Imperial Theatre on faith for $1, so the story goes, with the intention that it would be sold for a total of $1 million. So with the intention that once they accumulated the money and fundraised and so forth, $999,999 would be transferred over to the Full Gospel Assembly. And it was. The province did kick in. There was lots of people provincially, and the municipalities and fundraisers took place for Act 4 to happen, which is in 1994, which is the grand opening. Here is a picture of the inside of the Imperial Theatre, and that was taken from this book published by Rob Roy called St. John, page 51 and 52, I believe. So I have that. This book is also, you can purchase this book in St. John and any of the bookstores. So then we have, this is the actual picture from the Telegraph Journal from the inside of that gala night. Then I have ballet slippers to depict ballet. It was very important. The Winnipeg Ballet came to the Imperial Theatre several times. And again, this is from All That Jazz Dance Studio. So these were donated. And like I said, they're older toe ballet slippers, but they're Russian made and they're handmade. So thank you so much for that donation. Again, we have black and white, if you can see on the side here. I have pictures of the 50s. In 1942, it was the 35th year celebration of the Capitol Theatre back in Act 3. But I have that tied in because this part of the world in Act 4 and Act 2, we use media today all the time, and a lot of our performances at the Imperial Theatre, there's backdrop, there's movies, there's stills, there's the backdrop of film is used, or PowerPoint presentations. But multimedia is used quite extensively in today's entertainment. So, and in the back, and here we have, now notice I still have the clamps on because I have this Sixoplex 9000 still being glued. So when this is finished, then I'll take the clamps off. And then here I have Interaction Theatre. Interaction Theatre is just a wonderful asset to our community, and it's a children's theatre. And it was started about 16, 17 years ago, I think, and maybe a little longer. But Kate Winslow owns it. And is it Kate? I can't remember. Right. Interaction Theatre is owned by a young woman who's done tremendous contributions to the city. And I will get back to you with her name, but I believe her first name is Kate. And it's just a terrific organization to teach children about the theater world, and also it's confidence and so forth. There's all kinds of other wonderful people that contribute to the Imperial Theatre. But anyway, I couldn't put it all in, and I hope you see the show, and I'm very honored that my piece will be shown at the Imperial Theatre. And come to the event. It's September 19th, Imperial Theatre this year. Thank you so much. 2013. Thanks. Hi, I'm Kim Cookson, and this is the finished product of the Moments in Time for the Imperial Theatre Art Exhibition. Now, we've rolled camera in 3 parts, and it's unedited because I wanted it to be as authentic as possible in terms of an artisan production to do an art piece. And I just want to make some corrections. It's Kate Wilcox from Interaction Theatre, not Kate Winslow. That's an actress. But anyway, here it is, the Moments of Time. It's completed. Am I a little excited? Yes. Am I frazzled? Yes. But am I so thrilled to have the opportunity to present my piece for the 100th anniversary art exhibition of the Imperial Theatre. And the gala show is September 19th, 2013, and there's tickets still available as of August 23rd, because I bought mine yesterday. But anyway, I want to just walk you through. All these things have been donated, and this piece will be donated to the Imperial Theatre for their permanent collection, or they can sell it for $1,000 and put towards the Imperial Theatre. I didn't feel that I should sell this piece because so many people contributed. So it's a community piece made by me for the community to be given back to the Imperial Theatre, which is part of our community. Once again, I want to mention to you the New Brunswick Museum Archives. Jennifer Longden and Dee Stubbs was fantastic in helping me put it together and get all the pieces. I want to start all that jazz for the Russian ballet shoes. Veronica the music for the orchestra baton in the corner. Pastor Lindsay Burt from Full Gospel Assembly for his Bible and his cross and his pictures of the Davis sisters. I want to thank Vickers and Benson. Vickers and Benson is an ad agency in Toronto that I shot a commercial called Risk, and it's about time watches, get it? And they let me use this, even though no one's watching it. But that actual film that I use is one of my commercials, so I got approval for that. I didn't sweat it, but at least I have it covered. I also want to thank Herb Duncan, my partner, for making the shuttle box and doing all the technical things to make this come together. It's always great to have someone that you love and is also as handy. I also want to thank Stephen Judge, who donated. He is a personal friend and also a master carpenter. He donated quite a few of the antique knickknacks, the door handles, and all the sort of bric-a-brac he donated. And I don't think I'm missing anyone. Oh, and this 5 fathom holes, the recyclable steel place outside of Greater St. John, when the distribution companies for film here went digital. They took everything to the dump, but some of them were salvaged at 5 fathom hole. So this reel here comes from 5 fathom hole, which is one of the original reels used to distribute, to show films. So I think I covered everything. Here it is. And it's off to the Imperial Theatre today. Anyway, thanks. I'm Kim Cookson, artist and community art teacher in Greater St. John, New Brunswick. And this is the Moments of Time for the Imperial Theatre 100th anniversary, 2013. Thank you.